guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe Mason. I am a new adult romance author of books such as the Until Seattle trilogy, Maybe I'm a Poet poetry collection, and most recently, Hold the Phone. If you want to check out any of these books, I will link them down in the description box below. For today's video, I just wanted to talk about what I wish I knew before I self-published. This is just kind of like if I were to make a video to my past self, this is probably what I would say. And I am by no means an expert. I am still learning, and the more that I learn, I try to share here with other small authors, just because it's really kind of, I don't want to say it's cutthroat, but it is very competitive, and nobody's really going to give you handouts. You just have to really like work for it. Some people like to write just because it's a fun hobby. Some people want to write because they want to make it like their career. And obviously, in either scenario, you love writing. I get that. First things first, I would say I only did Amazon. I would consider other publishers. So everybody has different publishing experiences. I have published through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Ingram Spark. They were all kind of different experiences. Amazon is definitely the easiest and the fastest. I think Barnes & Noble books are a little bit higher quality, but the customer service support is awful. And it's just not as like upfront, and it's a lot more picky to get things done than Amazon is. Amazon's very easy, like step by step. And then Ingram Spark is just like an independent publisher that I used to use to publish my books in order to print my books so that way I could sell them through my personal site and then sign off on them. They were by far the most expensive than Amazon and Barnes & Noble, because Amazon and Barnes & Noble are big distributors and they just take like a little bit of the royalty, whereas for Ingram Spark, I was just paying to get the books. I wasn't utilizing it to actually distribute the books, just because you want to keep your options open. Don't just tie yourself to one publisher. It took me forever before I was like, oh my gosh, I could totally do Barnes & Noble. And it's good just to have more options out there. I think this is probably the biggest one. These are in no particular order, but the biggest one is that I'm still working on today is don't compare yourself to other small authors. Sometimes I get really discouraged if I see how successful other small authors have been in such a short amount of time, and I'm wondering what I am doing wrong. Something that I really love about this day and age is like there are so many people, younger people, like-minded people that want to venture out and creatively and be able to successfully pull off their own kind of business endeavor based on whatever their talents are, what they want to do, which I think is really cool. I love that I'm alive during that time where this has become more of like a normalized thing where people can start their own business or create a business out of their creations. But at the same time, because so many people are doing that, it is way more competitive. So different people are going to have different outcomes, obviously. You know, I mean, when I first started out on here, I was trying to do blogging, I was trying to do this and that, and then I was switching to merchandising, and now I'm an author, given I have written my entire life. And so being an author is something that I've always just wanted to do, but I've only been able to make it happen within the past few years. But don't compare yourself to other authors. Everybody's journey is different. As long as you work hard, I honestly believe you will get to where you want to be. Just because someone's like, oh, I made this amount of money within the first year, that's great, but that doesn't matter. Don't try not to let that get to you. That's one that I'm still working on too. Nobody's perfect. I mean, obviously, just try not to compare yourself. Number 3 is to research all the tools that you can use to help you self-publish. There's like you guys, I have watched thousands of videos of how to market books. I've read so many books about how to market, read so many articles. I've took classes. I've tried so many different things, and it's very, very difficult. And I think that's what I'm struggling with the most right now. Honestly, I think I'm probably shadow banned on Instagram because I'm getting like 0 engagement, and it's overwhelming me. It's very stressful. Here is what I would recommend, what I think is the most straightforward so far. So I am using Dabble writing to track my book's progress. In one of my last videos, I talked all about kind of what the features are, so you can check that out if you'd like. I really like it. I have the most basic plan that's $9.99 a month. And that just kind of helps like track my progress and things like that. Give myself a word goal. Come on. Social Media Marketing School by Ethan Bridge. It's this one right here. This is the one I like the most. It's been the most straightforward. I listen to it when I work out in the morning, and it's just like a no BS kind of thing, and not tiptoeing around it. I'm now using Publisher Rocket to help with my books, which I do want to review that eventually, because I don't know if I'm like utilizing it to its fullest potential. But I got that at the beginning of June, and it's basically a very simplified way to correctly categorize your books check out the competition of similar books, and find the right Amazon keywords so that you can basically get your book to become a bestseller, which is the whole reason I got it in the first place, because a lot of authors swore by it. So there's been nothing but great reviews about it. So I'm excited to see how it helps me out over time. Those are the 3 things I think that really are helping me kind of understand this better, because it's so competitive. Also, I think knowing that you just need to know that the first book, in my opinion, is always going to be the hardest. Once you get that book out there, I think it's significantly easier to write more, because now you know the process. Now you know what to expect and how to get things done. Going back to like Amazon and Barnes & Noble, book formatting is a huge one that I wish I understood more, or I had known before I got into it, because with Amazon I hadn't formatted my book correctly, so when I ordered my copies, the formatting was way off and did not look good. Since then I have learned, so I write through Dabble or even like Pages on my MacBook, and you can adjust the dimensions. So I've adjusted the dimensions and it reads way better now than my old book, so be sure to check your format and your dimensions. For covers and things like that, I use Canva, which is like, I've been using Canva for years. It's a really easy tool to create graphics and things like that. Sometimes I just have family and friends kind of reread things or read through things, and they'll let me know, and it's usually the littlest thing. I find that if you're reading stuff, to make sure that it reads right and to check for any spelling errors, read it out loud to yourself, because that's where you'll hear it. Otherwise, if you're reading it internally, your mind will just kind of like correct it automatically, and then you're SOL. So that would be a big tip in my opinion. Since I'm a small author and I have so many friends and like family and coworkers that are thankfully buying my book and asking like how they can like help me or whatever, they're posting about it, which is super sweet, because word of mouth is great free advertising. It costs your reader nothing and it gives you great exposure, which I love. But also just asking for reviews, honestly, because if you read a book and don't leave a review, it's like you only supported half of the way. You have to think of it like if you're looking for a product on Amazon or a store or anything like that, you're probably not gonna buy it if there are no reviews, because it doesn't give that product credibility. So with my friends, when they're like, oh my God, I loved your book so much, and it's like, that means the world to me, but could you please leave that in a review? It helps get your book seen more, and it's a really great way just to get noticed and get more book sales. Those are just some random things that I've learned, some things I wish I had known before I started, but it's all just a learning process. I've only been at this for a little over a year and a half. I published my first book in March 2021, so I'm still learning every day, but if you want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. My books are all linked down in the description box below, and don't forget, if you read them, review them. That sounded like a good night and good luck. Want to sign off. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.